Hi, everybody. I'm Diane Sater-Wee, CEO here at AIAM. And today I am talking to Gabby Freeman, one of our phlebotomy teachers.
Hi.
And she is also a medical assisting and an x-ray tech. And she's been in the medical field for over 20 years, right?
Yes.
Amazing. So tell me what you talk to people about phlebotomy.
Okay, so, I teach how to draw blood. And a lot of people get phlebotomist kind of mixed up with a medical assistant. So you don't have to be a medical assistant to be a phlebotomist. You can just be a phlebotomist. And a lot of schools are gearing, as well as us, gearing to give that program to students. So it is a 5-week course, and you're drawing blood week 1. A lot of people are uncomfortable. I don't like to use scared. A lot of people are uncomfortable with needles. Those are the words you use with patients so that they can feel a little better. I don't know how I do it, but I can make people feel a little more comfortable with needles. And a lot of times the students don't know that we practice on each other. So that's like the big tee. Once I can get students past that, they're pretty much okay. I do let students draw on me. Just because I have a really big vein, and it's like with any other occupation, you need the confidence first. So I know they're going to get my blood. And if they don't get my blood, I make them get my blood. I kind of guide their hand.
Does this thing work for first time, or is that for experienced?
Yes. So first time, we have our arm back here. And then we just call it a fake arm. But the students can literally do everything that they would do with the real arm. They can palpate, because you have to find veins. So you can palpate for a vein, make sure you can feel it. You tie your tourniquet on. You get your supplies together just like a real person. And then this right here is just food coloring. But once you hit the correct vein, you will get blood inside of your vacutainer. So this is I always start with the arm first. But I am a very realistic instructor. So we do the arm about 3 times, and then they move to real skin.
Okay.
But yes, this is a great tool to use, and it just gives the students that comfortability with holding needles. Because one thing a lot of people don't know, this is a real task. When this needle is inside of your patient's arm, you have to keep this part still. And this is called the needle holder. You have to keep that needle holder still, and that is the biggest thing with drawing blood, because no lie, you can feel that needle inside of the vein if you move it. Yes. And that's why a lot of people are uncomfortable, because some people wiggle and they fish. Fishing is when they move the needle inside your arm. So once you have a good hold on this needle holder, and then you also have to watch your patient, because people pass out, people sweat. So I always tell my students, patient, needle, needle holder. You have to watch all 3, because if your patient does faint, or I call it deer in headlights face, you need to catch them. You need to pull that needle, and you need to make sure that you're going through protocol to keep your patient safe.
Okay. When I'm doing massage and teaching massage, I tell students to watch the very corner of their eyes, because even though they look like they're relaxing, if they start tightening up, that's the first thing that kind of goes.
Oh,
yeah, I wonder if it's transferable to needles.
So with needles, it is a deer in headlights face, stark white, sweating. So that's what you have to watch for in your patient. My first question when I go into a patient room or anywhere, how do you do with needles? If I have any inkling that you may not like needles, I simply put the patient in a position that if they do start to go down, or whatever symptoms they start to have, I can make sure that they're safe. And that's why we have different type of phlebotomy chairs. Usually the room will have a treatment bed. Yes.
Those things.
Yep. Usually the room will have a treatment bed, so that you can keep your patient safe. These are very good, because it's going to keep, I'm just going to sit. It's going to keep your patient, if they are going to go sideways, they're fine. If they're going to go front ways, they're fine. Even if they come this way, they're fine. And then you have somewhere to brace their arms, because you are, at the end of the day, working with needles. But I do tell a lot of students, not every facility will have these. So like the exam table is a good thing. Some offices will just have a regular chair, so you just have to be really, really, really careful with that type of thing.
Okay. So you've taught all sorts of people who have
Yes,
no background in this.
no background.
Because 3 weeks sounds a little almost alarming, you know? It's like, how can I learn something like that?
So with phlebotomy, yes, I've taught a lot of different people, teenagers, older people, people my age. So it doesn't matter. My mother-in-law just reached out to me. She wants to do the program. Yeah,
That's cool.
because you can do so much with phlebotomy. And the one thing that I always like to say to people, any profession, just because you went to school for a certain occupation, think outside the box. When you think outside the box, that's when you get those jobs that I didn't know I could work there. Me teaching, never would have thought. When I got my first teaching job, they looked at my resume and they're like, yeah.
You've got the
And I was
skills.
like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do phlebotomists work? I mean, I've seen them at the Red Cross.
Yes. So Red Cross. So as a phlebotomist, you can have a conventional job or unconventional job. Red Cross.
Mhm.
Ambulatory setting. Your ambulatory settings is going to be your doctor offices. So that's why a lot of people think you have to be a
So
medical assistant.
Ambulatory means people can walk in.
Yes.
They're not an inpatient.
You're not an inpatient. Yes, ma'am. So ambulatory setting. In some of those sites will have like a OSU, which they wouldn't, might have a lab pour in their
Okay.
building.
Mhm.
You don't see patients really. You just literally draw blood. You sit in your little room and you draw your blood.
Insurance
Inpatient-
company.
Insurance company.
That's a big one too.
That's a big one. And I do another job, self-contracting. When you actually go into homes, into facilities. I also do that. A couple weeks ago, I was on a farm.
Doing what?
Drawing blood. Not on the animals, but the guy lived on the farm.
Okay.
Because these are jobs that was that Thornville? Thornville,
Oh, wow.
Ohio. Yeah, so I go to a lot of dirt roads, one house on the street,
My heavens, that's interesting.
deer in the
Oh, wow. Out
in
in
the
the
front
garden.
yard.
Yeah.
So you can do.
We had a deer in our admissions
r-
over there by the patio.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes
There's deer
sense.
everywhere now.
Yeah, there is. And when I passed the house 3 times,
Yeah.
and he's like, most people do, because they don't have a mailbox. It's just a dirt road.
Wow.
So self-contracting, hospitals, you can be in the lab. The people who work at the plasma centers, those are phlebotomists. So you can do a lot of things. It just depends on how far you want to take the phlebotomy.
What kind of money do people make?
It depends. Ambulatory settings, you're probably going to be in, 18 to 20.
Okay. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I think after the pandemic, the pay raises have went up, especially in healthcare.
Mhm.
Of course, there's some $15, $16 jobs. But you can make self-contracting. That's your own entity.
Mhm.
So it's a 1099, which means you get all your money. You
Right.
do your taxes later.
Mhm.
That's $50 a draw. $60 if it's an hour away,
Wow.
and you can do that part time because it's self-contracting.
Mhm.
Teaching is lucrative. Teaching is you're going to be in your 25 to 30 range. So
Mhm. But you gotta get some experience.
you gotta get some experience.
Yeah.
Not just going to hire you if you don't have any experience, but if that's your ending goal,
Mhm.
then it works. And right now the phlebotomy programs are huge. They're booming everywhere. Even the hospitals now are doing fellowships
Okay, wow.
where you go in as a regular healthcare worker, no experience. You go through their fellowship. You sign a
So
contract to work 2 years.
that
And they
says
teach you
that-
phlebotomy.
It's in demand.
It's huge.
Okay.
And our program is, and I'm not saying this because I work here.
Uh-huh.
Our program is one of the time efficient.
Yeah. that's
Saturdays,
right. Mhm.
Saturdays, 8 hours, 2-week externship in the healthcare setting. You can't beat it. You cannot beat it. Schooling can be substantial in price, but you cannot beat this program. And it's a Saturday.
Mhm.
That's our leisure day usually.
know.
So, and you still get
Someone
paid.
else can watch the kids.
Yeah, somebody else can watch the kids, and you still get off I-11-year-old.
Mhm.
We go to the park.
Mhm.
He knows it. 4:30, I'll be home. we're gonna do the part. So
Nice. So do you want to
yes,
do any
so
demos?
yes, let's do a demo.
So I've been okay for this in the past,
Mm-hmm.
but then I donated convalescent plasma, which they took a lot, and I got really nauseous.
It's a little painful too.
Yeah. It was,
So this won't be painful, and it's not
Okay.
gonna be painful because I'll show you guys what I'm using, but I'm gonna use a small needle. Okay. So this would be your standard straight needle, and I'm gonna take the cap off. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's a little longer. These will be used for your normal vein. You can palpate it, meaning that you can feel the vein. There's no problems. But we're not going to use that today because we're going to make it comfortable. This is our butterfly needle. And a lot of patients don't know this. You can ask for a butterfly needle. They're so much easier to use, and the needle is about half of that. So I'm going to switch this out.
yeah, I donated at the Red Cross, and they had me for like 2 hours
Just
spinning out
spinning.
my blood, and by the end I was like, oh my God, I can't even drive home.
Yeah. Because they
I
can,
need to get a ride home.
when you give blood, I mean, it does. It does.
And that was back in June of 2020. Oh my God, I'll do this if it helps save somebody.
Okay, we're going to do,
This one?
yes,
Okay.
because you have great veins. First things first, you have to feel for your vein. So I'm going to do this ungloved because sometimes it's a little hard to feel for the vein with gloves. The tourniquet cuts off the blood supply, so we can feel that vein. And her veins are perfect. You can see hers and you can feel them. I mean,
I'll hold it up to the
yes,
camera.
it's huge. She is a phlebotomist dream. We love people like this.
Popped up.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, the only thing with the tourniquet,
Oh.
you can't leave it on for more than 60 seconds.
Oh.
So you would take your tourniquet off.
Get some blood flow
Yeah,
back.
get some blood flow back. Get your supplies. I already put my supplies together.
My teen also gave me mini disco balls. Shiny nails.
Now those are pretty.
Isn't that funny?
I like glitter. Put your gloves on.
As a massage therapist, you don't usually glitter your nails.
No, true. I've never had a massage.
You work at a massage school.
I know. I've never had a massage. I gotta get one.
Yeah.
Okay, so and since her vein is pretty juicy, that's not a medical term, but that's the word I like to use. I'm not gonna do her tourniquet as tight because her vein is already kind of puffed out for us. And you make a little loop. And then you have to, oh, look, perfect. Alcohol, you have to clean your site. And if you touch the site, you just clean it again. You let it dry. You're gonna let it dry. Take your needle out.
I'll look away.
Yes, most patients do. And then you're gonna have everything else on the opposite side so you don't cross over. And then, okay. You see the flash. Come on,
She's good.
let it flow.
Can you see it, Jenny? Jenny's our producer.
Hi, Miss Jenny.
You bet I can see it. That's really awesome. Oops, your phone just went black. Diane, I think your phone rang. You're muted again. I'm coming in. Yeah, you're muted, Diane. Sorry.
so let them know my mother called. And, okay, my mother called and we can't get my mic back without starting the phone that we're using. Gabby, can you hear me? Nope, she can't hear me either because it apparently isn't using that either. But I think that's everything you need to know. It's a 3-week program, and Saturdays you get an externship. It folds right over into a medical assisting. It's a standalone credential. So if you're interested, give us a call and learn some more. I'll talk to you later. Thanks, everybody. Yeah.